All right, I feel like I've been talking a lot.
You have.
Okay, well, why don't you take this opening?
No! There's feet. Okay, just straight open with feet. And I think that started me because that's like the joke about him, but it's also serious. I think that immediately kind of took me to a place in the movie that like wasn't the best start for me. Because I'm like, okay, this is like teenage dream Tarantino. This isn't going to be like serious.
I know that people knew the Tarantino feet thing, but maybe social media wasn't so dominant right now that he probably felt I could still get away with this. Whereas he could not. Well, but like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has tons of feet in it.
And okay, here's another thing. This is going to make me sound so weird. But my mom always rode in the front seat with whatever dad I had at the time driving. And she would have her nails painted and put her feet up on the dash like this. And she has very nice feet. It runs in the family. I do too. They're gorgeous. I'm just saying.
They're fine.
My feet fucking rock. All right. And
what do you think of feet, Chris?
I'm not a feet guy.
You're not? Then how
that is the one thing that I don't understand with Tarantino. However, in this movie, it makes a good drinking game. A shot for every foot shot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get drunk pretty quick.
And
and they're wearing flip-flops. So that's a lot of feet shots.
I mean, this is his most foot forward movie?
I think it has to be. His foot's on the pedal.
And it's his shortest movie, or maybe Reservoir Dogs is shorter, but
well, if you're thinking of it as an exploitation film, then what's the most thing he'd want to exploit?
Yeah.
He's not going to get the women naked. He's going to get those piggies out. And he picks some good fucking feet. I don't even know that those are that lady's feet. They're too perfect. Anyway, I have this affection for feet up on a dashboard crisscross like that.
Yeah, because of your mother.
Which is strange. But but that meant she was in a good mood. So I do understand why I'm connecting it to like a nice road trip. No, you don't get in a horrible domestic dispute and then prop your feet on the dashboard. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
It's the same reason why I love the smell of Windex. It means that bitch is happy enough to be cleaning. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'm already like in like a good mood, but because I know the thing about feet, I'm like, geez, already. It's like starting with a tip of a dick. It's like, what are you doing, Quentin? Where are you going from here? Anyway, this is all I know about this shot.
All right. So Planet Terror has all the fake grain. It's not fake grain. They actually did like drop the film onto the ground and like stomp on it and stuff. But to give it the appearance of a grimy movie from the 70s. And this movie, the first half of it has it, not as much as Planet Terror. But in my memory, it did not have it. So I was surprised to now get it. And then they do the joke with, you see the old title of the movie for a second before it gets replaced with a new title card that says Death Proof. Because it was a thing that would happen. It's like a movie would open in a city, it would get bad reviews. So when it would go to the next city, they'd be like, no, this is a different movie.
Oh, and there's even some force. But if you're watching it on streaming, you're not sure if you're seeing an intentional like blip. There's a shot. I think it's whenever in the second half of it's when the pretty girl with the big teeth is explaining how there's a blip where she says something twice. So when it happened the second time, I was like, oh, okay, it was intentional.
And there's so much more of that in Planet Terror, and Planet Terror literally has the film burn up and melt down while you're watching it.
I remember that. But I mean, great shots. See, we're getting to know these ladies. We see a long-legged hot chick who's definitely cool, putting on her shirt.
You're talking about Jungle Julia?
I'm talking about Jungle Julia.
Played by Sidney Poitier, daughter of Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
But she spells it differently.
That's good. Not confusing.
But she is like maybe the most idealized of all Quentin Tarantino, like sexy ladies.
Why?
Because, she's a cool and sexy as shit black woman who likes like cool rock and roll from the 60s and 70s.
Wait, you're saying character or person? This is a character who likes these things.
I'm saying of all of the female characters that Quentin Tarantino has created to be like, this is my dream girl.
Oh, I thought you meant like the culture celebrates her of all the ladies. Of all of his ladies. Okay, we'll talk better.
Listen better. But also morphed with like the Bridget Fonda in Jackie Brown, like stoner slacker girl.
Well, and it's always a fucking big red flag for me that a man wrote this stuff. When you see someone that's just in bitch, when you see a woman walking around in panties and a short shirt, we don't do that. That's not practical. We cover our ass. You know why?
I'm sure someone does.
I'm sure someone does. But I'm just saying it's a guy thing to do this. And then so the writing does start to usually Tarantino's working with groups of either men, a man and a woman, or groups of men. That's the typical formation in his movies. So it is jarring to watch him write lots of dialogue for groups of one-on-one lady conversations and groups of women. He did not consult with a female, but any of this can just be like, well, he was going for that. He's going for that.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a man's ideal of what
it's
women
the male
like.
gaze, and you're trying to harken back to exploitation movies where, you would just get tons of butt shots and boob shots for no reason. I don't care
about that. That shit's hot as fuck. I like all those things. I'm saying literally the words that are coming out of their mouth are not normal. He gets wardrobe besides the panties and shirt combo. He gets wardrobe like perfect, however.
Okay, well, hold on. We'll get to their conversation, but let's so we got Sidney Poitier as Julia, Vanessa Ferlito as Arlene, and Jordan Ladd as Shanna. And this is all taking place in Austin, Texas. Let's see, we're on Robert Rodriguez's turf.
Relation to Cheryl Ladd?
Well, let's say yes.
Okay.
And so they have this annoying conversation about who's going to get the pot. And the conversation, it's a lot like the Pulp Fiction, exactly Jules and Vincent, like where there's a lot of like circling back and forth about like what the definition of words are.
Yep.
And like, I was not cursing at you. I was saying curses at you, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But your contention, Lacey, is this is inauthentically female.
Well, you're hitting on you're right. It's twofold. And that's why it was so obvious that he writes these overly sexual dialogues to what, in a way that, in my experience, two women don't talk like that. Like, that's not the perspective of, I just made out with a guy. Let me describe to you in great detail what he did, what we did. It's not that. It's like, I accidentally farted, or like his tongue was a little like jittery, or like it's from the perspective of a human body experiencing another human's body. Not like, let me lay it out for you. We were so on top of each other with straddles and ginas.
Wait a minute. I've heard women talk like this. You're speaking about yourself.
I fucking clearly said that in my experience. What women have you heard? And if you were watching my guy, they were talking about it for you. I'm talking about private conversations just with women in the room. That's just not, what are we doing that for? Unless we're trying to turn each other on, in that case, fine, let's do this. But that's just not how you discuss a hookup. It's more like, dude, he was so hot, we did this, and this. Like, that's more matter of fact. And then you get to like the human part of like, I had to pee so bad. That kind of thing. That's how you know a woman wrote it, because it's just more realistic to say the non-sexy parts as well.
Okay.
Jesus fuck.
I'm sure if hitmen watch Pulp Fiction, they'd be like, we don't talk like this. Like, this is all, none of this is supposed to be real.
So every time I make a point and then you ask me to like dig in, you're going to just tell me I wasn't supposed to worry about that.
No, I'm not saying you don't need to worry about that. It. Chris, what do you think about this?
So, did you do the thing? Do guys like the thing? Well, they like it better than no thing.
It's like, great. Okay. Yeah, that's what we do.
Entertaining dialogue. I mean, I can understand both where Lacey's coming from, because my wife don't talk like that.
No.
But
and not because we're prudes, just because.
Yeah, my wife's a very graphically worded person, so if she's going to talk about it, it's going to be a lot more graphic than the way they
medical.
Talk about it in the movie.
Medical. She's a nurse, so it's gonna It's right. It's nuanced. This isn't.
It's new. So I don't, but I actually don't disagree with you. Yeah, something about this does ring more false to me than Vincent and Jules talking, but yes. I do need to remind myself he has no idea what hitmen are like, and he has no idea, like, these are all just totally imaginary people.
Well, for Vincent and Jules, he's humanizing them by giving them this mundane conversation. He's showing you that no matter what it is you do for a living, it is just something you're doing to make ends meet. Doesn't make you an evil person. That's what he's doing. This is just girlfriends trying to hang out. These are just girlfriends, like, some of them haven't seen each other in a while. Butterfly's just in town for a few days, and all the women are ever fucking talking about are their hookups, are their relationships that aren't working. It's the first thing anyone asks anyone about. It's all they're ever talking about when you walk in on the conversation. That is not realistic. And I guess it's meant to be a very sexually charged movie. I get that. But when he writes for men, it more rounds out a man. It makes them feel more human, more relatable. When he's writing for a woman, they feel so one note, and he's making them lesser than. He's not building them out. He doesn't build out their world. They're not talking about France and fucking Madonna. They're talking about kissing guys, straight relationships. There's not even any queer shit in here. So
there's the lesbians.
Who's a lesbian?
The ladies who come into the bar to meet them with the pot later.
God, the fucking biker babe, lesbian fucking trope.
Okay. But they do talk about like music and stuff. They don't only talk about men, but it is, yes, he's writing these women characters who we define them first as like sexual creatures, and second as people who are obsessed with the things that Quentin Tarantino is also obsessed with, which is fast cars and rock and roll from the 60s and 70s that most people have not heard.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing feels like, oh, hey, new girlfriend, here's a mixtape. This whole movie is here's mixtape. That's what it is.
The thing that rang most false to me about the whole movie is when the women are all, when they find out that Rosario Dawson got a mixtape, they're all like, "Ah,
no, not true." When you gave me a mixtape, I creamed my fucking jeans.
Nobody in real life wants a mixtape. No.
What are you talking? It's the way guys say things they can't say. You're good at communicating. Not every guy is. So they communicate through songs, or else the girl pretends that's what they're doing. Mixtapes are fucking sexy as hell.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong here.
God, you're bad at this episode. Me and Chris, this is weird. What if me and Chris just do this?
Yeah, please.
I'm dressed like the husband from Beetlejuice. That's always what I think when I wear this shirt. You're welcome, audio podcast. Okay.
They get to the Mexican restaurant, and Arlene, aka Butterfly, notices there's some sort of death-proof car outside. Something's amiss. Keep my eye on that death-proof car. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like shot for shot, like Halloween.
Yeah, where she's noticing it's out the window. It's always when she takes a moment alone. He never seems to creep when they're in a group.
Yeah,
which also happens in the second half. Don't you feel like the title card could basically happen after the first half? Like that whole thing's just a setup for you to like really enjoy. It's just like, and now the movie.
Yeah, and this, you could, in your memory, you could be like, yeah, that's one of those title card doesn't come till 70 minutes into the movie. Movies. Yes, you're so right. They explain that whole thing with the lap dance. If you come up to Butterfly and you're like, "Are you Butterfly?" Well, Robert Frost once said that I was walking in a tree forest and I came upon a path and I didn't know which way to go and I took the loft path. If you do all of that, she'll give you a lap dance. Okay?
All that a man that does all that and you get to do the most 90 things ever, the most 90s thing you could have ever asked for. Lap dances were all the rage.
They were?
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it was, I don't know.
I'm not that old. I don't know.
You know, the American Pie of it all. It's just, that's what I'm not going to fuck this guy, but I know I'm supposed to dance like this on his dick. Yeah. Lap dances were like, if you didn't do that, you were the lamest girl.
What? Who did these?
Yeah.
What? This is the thing. So you had to like know how to do that?
Well, luckily I just know.
Oh, okay.
I was born this way.
All right.
Did you make people read you a poem to give you the lap dance at least?
I didn't know that was an option. Okay. So I did them for far less.
Like what? What would you do?
For someone asking me to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I made out with girls for someone asking me to. This was very much a thing, especially if you're not like all that good looking. I do whatever I'm supposed to do.
Oh, you're good looking.
I am now.
No, shut up. You were there.
I was not there.
I've seen pictures of you.
Oh.
Also, we've been together so fucking long. When are you talking about?
I'm talking about it as a teenager.
When you were 13?
No.
We've been together since you were 14.
We're really hostile on this episode. I'm talking about age 14 through age 25.
Ew. Again, I'm going to make Lacey do a timeline of her life because these numbers are all over the place.
Well, that's to be expected.
Yeah, you'll get a lap dance if you read me a Robert Frost poem. She's like, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, you're going to have to, or else we'll call you chicken shit like you're Marty McFly. Her one weakness is she can't be called chicken shit. And she knows that, so she's mad about it. But anyway, they leave this taco bar, and Kurt Russell watches them from across the street, and he has an individual photo of each of them.
That is the only mystery. Does anyone does it need to be explained? I'm okay with it not, but why? Why these girls? How do you know Butterfly was gonna? I mean, I know he listens to Jungle Julia, so I guess that's why.
Well, he stalks them, and he presumably has been stalking them before this.
But Butterfly just got there.
got there, yesterday.
That man knows how to develop a photo quickly. He takes them and then
he hangs out at the airport and he waits for groups of girls. I think there's a thing where he
listens to Jungle Julia. That I just answered my own question. Do you think, Chris, he is very infatuated with Julia specifically, and the rest of the stuff was just there with Julia? And the butterfly gave him an intro, right? The lap dance thing.
I mean, that worked out for the intro for sure, but I think he gained his information on Julia after he had already picked this group of girls for his next target. Okay. And I only say that because of the second group of girls. They are being photographed at the airport.
You're right. Is that the airport where Abby?
Yeah. They're picking up Zoe Gabby. From the airport. Yeah.
Yeah. Zoe, not where did I get Gabby? Okay.
Gabby. But I think that he is like, I think he chooses his targets based on like a very toxic masculine
promiscuity.
Performative femininity seems to really grind his gears.
I just buttoned my button while you were saying that. Like I self-conscious.
So if like these women are being loud and they're like and stuff at the bar, he's like, I don't like the looks of them in my book.
They wouldn't suck my old cock. Doggy. What does he always say? It's not partner.
Partner.
Is it partner? Okay.
Sure. They head over to the Texas Chili Parlor, and they're just hanging out with some guys, including Eli Roth playing one of them.
Oh,
your cousin.
My cousin. Which one was he?
He's the one who looks like an Eli Roth. He's the one who's like, okay, we're just gonna give him some more shots.
That was the asshole.
No boys becomes boys. Okay,
I got it. The asshole.
I love to see this beautiful old school texting of Julia texting whoever, Chris or whoever
on a Nokia.
Cinema Chris. She's texting him. When are you coming? We get to see how long a text message takes and the little noise that you hear and how satisfying that was. We got to go back, people. We have to go back. Things were better then, I assure you. They were way better in 2007.
So much less wars. Just kidding.
Just as many wars.
I know.
Technology was better.
Oh.
But Quentin Tarantino plays the owner of the bar, and he comes over and he's like, everybody's going to do shots.
It's the worst fucking cameo he's ever done. It is so egregious. He's such an idiot. He's like Eddie from fucking Vegas. Christmas Vacation, the vacation movies.
Well, as in a delightful scene stealer?
As in like a Temu version. He's just the grease and none of the charm.
Let's see. Arlene goes outside to smoke and it's raining. And then she notices the death car is in the parking lot. And she's like, oh no, that death car. I don't like the looks of that.
Well, and has the disgusting chat amongst Eli Roth and his guy happen yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, that happens at the same time as we're getting the sensual eating of Kurt Russell.
It's not sensual. He's meant to look like a pig. Look, he's got some on his cheek. He's meant to look scary.
I think Tarantino can't help but making it look a little sensual. Like the fingers go, those fingers going in my mouth.
Tiebreaker, Chris. He's meant to look sexual, but gross.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Every time it grosses me out, yet at the same time makes me crave nachos.
I was gonna say makes me horny as hell. Like, where are we going? It's like me with my mom's feet. Okay.
All right, so I need to make a video of Lacey's mom's feet and a cut
of
this.
Don't do that.
But it's funny because I remembered this as being like this is one of the things I remember from the movie theater being like, oh, those nachos look so fucking good.
I mean, they do. The cheese is dripping.
And like, I hate watching people eat. I really think it's disgusting.
This
is like Lacey seeing like a beehive or something. This upset me on a visceral. I felt it in my stomach.
In my caveman, I'm screaming.
Hit me in the caveman. Well, so yeah, Eli Roth is talking to this other dipshit, and he's like, hey, we can get the girls horny if we give them more shots.
And that's when I realized this movie is just American Psycho. This is all of these men are toxic in these women's lives. The guy that's on the phone saying he really misses Julia and never fucking shows up. The guys who are buying them fucking shots just to call them bitches and to get their bananas sucked. And then the fucking cop at the end who's figured it out. You can tell it's a death-proof car. All you care about is that those ladies were too pretty to die. Meanwhile, you're treating this doctor who's your daughter like a piece of shit. That is the most hostile thing in this movie is the way he talks to his physician daughter. And he has the smarts and intelligence to know that this is what is happening. Again, if these were ugly girls, he would not care. But he's like a daddy, so he ain't gonna do it in Texas. Like, oh, thank you, that's so helpful. Evil men.
I think those are the only characters from Planet Terror. The sheriff and the doctor, the woman doctor, are in Planet Terror.
Well, and
no, I'm saying those are literally characters from Planet Terror. Rose McGowan is an actor who's also in Planet Terror.
Jungle Julia is technically referenced in Planet Terror.
She is
a memorial, like on the radio. They're saying in memory of our radio host Jungle Julia Lukai.
Oh, okay. And then there you go. Because
there's
Rose McGowan.
Wait, huh?
Oh, never mind. I was about to ask a very stupid question.
There's twins in the bar in Death Proof who are the babysitters of the doctor in Planet Terror, and they are the same character.
Ooh. Death Proof takes place before Planet Terror, or at least the first half of Death Proof takes place before Planet Terror.
That's true, because that part's grainy.
Which begs the question, in the second half of Death Proof, has a zombie apocalypse already taken place?
And everything's fine now?
And no one's mentioning it?
They're just on a movie set where that hasn't happened yet?
That was all the way in Texas, and we're in Tennessee.
Well, the accents are a little rough for me. That you can't have an empowered woman who talks the way that Shauna talks.
Shanna, the only thing a Shanna hates worse than what
I did it. Craig, I'm always gonna fucking step in it.
But yeah, gross nachos and men being pigs. No, Lacey, you're absolutely right. It is. These guys are not literally slasher killers, but they are. These women are their prey. In a way, if you think about it.
Well, they're gonna kill a little piece of them with the way that they are, the way that they. I mean, look at the director who they're talking about. Who all he did was fuck some girl on her birthday, but like that stayed with her. It's what she's talking about. The way they are.
But Eli Roth and his friend then look over at Kurt Russell and they're like, "How did this guy get out of his time machine? What a loser!"
He looks fine. I don't even think it looks funny for the time. It's just the 90s. Shot. He does look like he's in a spacesuit.
Rose McGowan now is Pam. For some reason, all the cool girls at the bar think she sucks and they make fun of her from across the room. But Rose McGowan starts talking to Kurt Russell. We finally get some good old Kurt Russell. And I got to say, I was not digging this movie that much. Each time I watched it up until now, I've been like, I get it. This is not, I don't know. This feels like Quentin Tarantino B-sides. But Kurt Russell, one of my favorites of all time, and he starts talking. I'm like, oh, good. I'm in good hands.
Yeah.
And he just starts explaining that I like to hang out in a bar and not drink and just drink a virgin pina colada and eat my nachos and talk to people. And explains he's a stuntman. He's Stuntman Mike, and he's an actual stuntman from movies and television.
I do want to point out that Rose McGowan's character does all the things she's supposed to do to be safe in a bar. Like, she is asking him the right question. She wants the bartender who she trusts to vouch for him. She checks to see if he's drinking and if he's going to be drunk when he drops her off. Like, she's not wearing anything provocative. She was taken there by a date and then left there in the rain by that asshole. She asks about the car. It's like if a guy wants to make you his prey, he probably just will, because every time she asks a question to like just figure out who this guy is, he does something very like charismatic to kind of like, she's like, hey, so you vouch for this guy? And he's like, well, insofar as I've seen, he said he's in this movie, and he's not really answering the question, the bartender. And then Kurt Russell takes over and tells like a really long thing about all the work he's done, which has nothing to do with can you vouch for this guy, but it distracts and charms. And
yeah, and he says like, I didn't offer to give you you asked me for a ride.
Like, that's not true. You slid your keys over here and said your chariot awaits. How's that her asking?
But he is like, when she's talking to him, he's like looking at her. He's listening very intently. He's laughing along with her. Like, he's like charming as hell.
He's those eyes, those blue eyes.
But a lot of this just feels like this is like him being obsessed with stuntmen.
I like that. I like that he celebrates these other. I'm a sucker for any stuntman movie that just talk. I mean, because they destroy their bodies to get no fucking praise.
He starts asking her questions about Jungle Julia. What's her deal? And she's like, well, I went to school with her and she sucks.
This
and
is like, very well observed. You said that those ladies over there seem to hate that blonde woman for no reason. That's Austin, right? That they're in?
Yeah, a huge city.
But they seem to be like on like the way that Metairie is small. If you want to pick a bar, right? Metairie, you would still say you're from New Orleans, but you're not driving New Orleans to go to a bar. You're going to go to a bar in Metairie. That's how I take this area. And they went to school with each other, and like they're both hot, and you're gonna end up at the same bar. The guy gives away free shots. It's going to be a popular place to go, and yeah, you're going to sit at the bar while you're not going to go over and be like, hi, we're friends, because you're not fake, but you do know each other enough to be like, let me check in with you. Is it weird that I'm going with this guy? Like, I think it's really well observed, the casual attachment to someone who you didn't mean to run into and you don't necessarily like that much. I don't know. It's nicely, lightly handled, I think.
And Kurt Russell asks, well, what did she ever do to you? She used to beat you up and take your chocolate milk. And she's like, that pituitary case might have kicked my ass a couple of times, but I died before I gave her my chocolate milk.
That's a pretty good Rose McGowan.
He starts explaining all the credits he's had. I did a lot of episodes of The Virginian, and then I did The Men of Shiloh, and damn near the whole third season of Vegas. Any of you know any of these shows or people I'm talking about? And they're all like, no, sorry. Dun, dun. I looked these up. I can't. It's unclear if these are actual TV shows. I don't think
it seems like jibber jabber. Yeah,
but I don't know if the point is he is making them up.
Yes, that's what I thought, Chris.
Or Tarantino is trying to invent a history.
But then why give us real movies in this movie as well, Chris? See, he's shaking his head. Yes, I'm right.
It's on the fence because there's a theory about Stuntman Mike being another character from another Tarantino movie.
Which one?
I don't know if I believe it, but there's a theory that Stuntman Mike is Cliff Booth from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, okay. Well, because I was going to say he also brings back stuntmen for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly hope that's not true. I know that's not true. No, Tarantino's like
he's not really like that.
No, he's not like that. He's Cliff Booth could turn into somebody like this. He, may have harpooned his wife. We don't know.
Or they could have worked together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did wonder, wait a minute, is Kurt Russell playing the same character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when he plays Cliff Booth's boss? Did you hear, guys, that Cliff Booth is coming back, allegedly, meaning probably not, but David Fincher will be directing a Cliff Booth
no, of course I didn't hear
stuntman movie.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah, if it happens. David Fincher gets announced to do a lot of stuff.
No, I'm going to watch it if it doesn't happen, Matt. Thanks for the fucking clarification.
You're welcome.
God, your help.
All the TV shows in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are real. Like Bounty Law is a real show. Mm-hmm. So that's why I assumed these were real shows he was mentioning here, because Tarantino would want to shout out real shows.
Sure. But I think like I said, this is at a very opportune moment that he does this. He steps in while and makes it to where the bartender gets distracted, moves on, because right here he could ruin the whole thing by saying, look, I don't really know him that well. He's only been in this bar a couple times, but instead he jumps in and just starts making all these girls feel stupid because they don't know all the things he's saying. And it would make sense if some of them are real and some of them are completely made up, just so he can vamp, take some time, distract, make them feel a little dumb, and make it to where Rose McGowan's character kind of wants to prove she's cool again after showing she's not cool to him.
So
he's attractive, he's older, he's charismatic. Even if you're not going to fuck him, you want him to want to fuck you. I've been in this situation a million times. Sure. You still want someone to look at you and go, you're an old soul, or you're no, not just that. Just like, oh wow, you're pretty cool, or you're not like other girls. Like that pick me is always there. Of like, let me show you. I know Otis Redding. I know how to pick a fucking thing off the thing with the shit. I know about a show. I'm timeless. So she gets a little negged here and distracted.
Okay, sorry. Let's back up then. Do we think Stunt Mike ever worked as a stuntman?
Yes.
Then? Yes, yeah. Because now I'm thinking, wait a minute, Tarantino probably loves stuntmen so much. Why would he make a stuntman a killer? Stuntmen are good folk.
They don't have to be good to like him, Matt. Why does everybody have to be an angel? He's got that kick-ass scar.
How'd you get into the stunt business? My brother got me into it. Who's your brother?
Stuntman Bob. That's how you get into wrestling. I find it totally believable. It's how you get into stunting. It's one of those things that doesn't feel like a career. It feels like something people do instead of having a job. But you talk to someone who actually does it, realize it's like a big deal and there's a lot of skill involved. And okay, I'll try it. I can see.
Stuntman Mike goes out and he recites the Robert Frost, like, midnight on the midnight dreary. I came across a rose, and she's like, "What? How did you know that?" Bam.
How did you? How did you know?
I forgot how she talks. She's. Damn it! I forgot that I had an impression of her, but I forgot it.
Darn.
I know of Arlene / Butterfly, but she's trying to like figure out how to get out of this situation, and finally just asks, "I know you've been following me. Why?" And he says, "Well, I ain't stalking y'all, but I didn't say I wasn't a wolf."
Ooh.
Damn.
Panties wet.
He accurately says, "You look a little wounded because you thought guys would be reciting poetry at you all night, and it hasn't happened yet. And there are as few things as fetching as a bruised ego and a beautiful angel." So how about that lap dance?
Angel.
And she's like, well, I'm going to have to give you a rain check. And he's like, "That's okay. You're still a nice girl, and I still like you. But I must warn you, you know how people say, you're okay in my book." And in the John Wayne voice, and he keeps doing the John Wayne voice and explains he actually has a book, like Richard Nixon.
Okay, but I'm not the only one, and maybe, Chris, you don't have enough distance from this. But just like when he has the weirdest, longest, prolonged sneeze, but then doesn't sneeze. And then you pan back to Julia, and she's like, what the fuck? When he's up close, you cannot see any of their reactions, and he's doing full on John Wayne for way too long, you expect them to flip the camera back and all of them be like, what the fuck? But then they flip it back and she's like, I don't want to be a chicken shit. It's like, wait, that worked? What? It's just very interesting, these things he puts in along the way to let you know this guy is not right. Or is he? I don't know. It's I love that because that's what you want. That's what you want in life, is for a creepy guy to be okay and for you to think you're in danger and be like, oh, I'm not. That's what you want. And this movie plays with it very well. This like, nah, I'm safe.
Do you remember what they said, Lacey, about the real Frank Abagnale? What everybody said about him?
No.
That he smelled bad.
Oh.
That he stunk.
Okay.
And that's weirdly was part of his appeal. For some reason, it's like he stinks, but he's okay. He's not trying to con me.
It's like no one that stinky would
con me.
Yeah, they got to be making nice over here.
But the chicken shit thing works on her because she's Marty McFly, so she does this elaborate lap dance that
it is the most elaborate. And
I feel like everybody in the bar would resign from being uncomfortable, and instead they're like, yeah,
they're
go.
All smiling and fucking nodding in approval. I would be so uncomfortable. Also, she does half of it where you can't see it behind him. Who are you doing this for? Fuck. And she's good at it. She's a good dancer. But the part... Really?
The actress did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's really impressive. I can't figure out where I know her from. She's very familiar. She's very distinctive. 2. Oh, okay.
Who is she in Spider-Man 2?
She's Mary Jane's best friend.
God.
I only know that. We watched it the other day and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I looked at her credits because I don't know her from anything. She's just in TV. Or she's, in lots of TV. She's a successful actress. I just don't know.
I feel like I know her as a kid actor. That's like, this is a mature role for her. That is where my brain goes. But
I was thinking non-goth Fairuza Balk.
Ish.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now it's the death drive. Time for the death drive. Time for everybody to go home. Rose McGowan's like, okay, I'm going to get in your car, stuntman Mike. And he's like, well, look, here's my car. It's death proof. You can't die in it. And there's like this acrylic partition between the driver and passenger sides. But everything that seems creepy is like, no, there's a reason for that. That's where the camera has to go. And it seems weird that there's no seat. No, here's a seat. I just pulled it out. Now you sit on this stool. Okay.
Well, and now I can't get fresh with you. See, this whole thing is very incel coded, right? Like he keeps getting fucking dismissed and disrespected, and he reacts to none of it. he's right there when those two stupid fucking guys are making fun of him. He can hear it.
Yeah.
But he knows he's going to kill a lot of ladies later. The ones those guys want to fuck, he's going to fuck them with his car. So like, it's all part of it. It's like, he's gooning like this. Yeah. Keep going. Keep telling me I ain't shit. And so when Rose McGowan goes, is by that group and she says those two things, he's old enough to be my dad, I'm not going to fuck him. He's like, oh, I can't wait to kill you with my car.
Well, that's real confidence. We should all try to be like Stuntman Mike without the murdering part. Like, he's got it figured out. Like, it doesn't matter what some fucking idiots at the bar say about you. You're cool as hell.
Absolutely. That would be nice. That would be nice. I don't know that can be, but yeah,
it can
just
be.
Take
just
it like
yourself.
take it like Stuntman Bob, who probably didn't kill anyone.
Or take it like Pam, who's like that potato case, but not my chocolate milk. You gotta have that confidence. So the death happens. It's pretty cool. Anybody have any thoughts about
what? Wait, the murder of all of them?
The murder of Pam, of Rose McGowan. It happens very fast. He's like, she's going left or right, and she's like, right. And he's like, oh, well, in that case, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you.
That's a well-observed, nice little taunting speech. That was very horror movie, the way he delivers that bad news. And just I'm always very impressed with actors who get that like timing right of like, when would it click for me? And it washes over her just right. And the smart, what is it? What I'm trying to do? Bargaining? Mm-hmm. This is a joke. You're a funny joke guy.
No, I know it's a joke.
So
I know
realistic.
You're just joking. Yeah, so just let me out and it'll just be a good joke.
That Rose McGowan. She's good in a horror movie.
But he kills her. And then he's like, now I got to catch me my other girlfriends, as he looks at the other ladies in the pictures.
Chris, you're really into horror. Do you have a favorite kill?
In this movie?
Yeah. Or moment?
Oh, probably Jungle Julia.
The leg.
The fucking leg.
So terrifyingly realistic because Emily likes to put her leg out the window like that.
Yeah.
And ever since I showed her this movie, she's never done it since.
Good. Show her Hereditary so she doesn't put her head out the window as well.
That's the kid riding the school bus hearing about like once there was a kid who stuck their arm out the window on the bus and then it got broken off by a tree or something.
Yeah,
by a bear.
That happens.
I'm sure it happens. Yes. But yeah, you get to see it 4 different times. You get to see each of the individual kills. My favorite is
the head.
Arlene getting run over in midair. Awesome. And now we meet the sheriff.
Probably really fucked up his rims.
Probably really did when you think about it. Right. So, we've already talked about this, but yeah, these bumpkin sheriffs are like, no, the law says we can't do anything to keep this guy.
I'm just noticing that fucking police officer with fucking 5 dead people didn't even bother to put on a shirt. He's in an undershirt and they're related. That's right. Am I wrong? That is his dad. And then the doctor is his daughter. Okay.
Yeah. That's his son. Yeah.
Okay. And who is getting all the respect in the world, who is getting told all the information, and then the fucking doctor comes over and she just gets nothing. She gets no respect.
Dr. Block.
Is it Block? I keep hearing Dr. Bob.
But like this sheriff, he has accurately figured out who Kurt Russell is and like the psychology of why he does this. This is like the end of Psycho, where the psychiatrist has to explain to people in 1960, here's why he's dressing up like his mother. That 5-minute monologue that goes on way too long where they explain. It's in this movie, but it's just in the middle of the movie, which is interesting.
But that's why it's so poisonous. That's why that's what he's illustrating, is that there are men who know what other men are like, but it would just be too much of a bother to stop them. But they can show up with a shotgun at their front door if a boy comes over. Like, no, I'll protect my girls. Mm-hmm. I'll protect something like in this area and if they're pretty. But I'd rather watch the NASCAR circuit than make sure that man never kills again.
Well, yeah, and he is literally a Texas Ranger. The idea of like, where this is Texas, this is the frontier. We just protect our own. I'm just here to protect my homestead.
Texas horror movies are definitely they're in Texas. I feel like we've said that before. There's no Texas horror movie where that's not part of the point.
The only thing that takes place in Rushmore.
No, that does not feel
Wes
like
Anderson movies, at least his early movies, take place in Houston. You're like, oh, I don't think of them as Houston movies.
Wait, is that because he's like fucking Kubrick and so he just pretends London is everywhere else?
No, it is Rushmore Academy is in Houston, but Wes Anderson is from Houston.
Okay.
But that's what I've been to Houston. Houston is just an anonymous big city with no character.
It's like when Louisiana stuff is we're in a Louisiana movie and it's not the point. Sometimes we can just talk and not eat crawfish while we're doing it, fuckers.
So now it's
Matt.
14 months later. We're in Lebanon, Tennessee, and it's in black and white. But the grain is gone. The fake grain is gone. The camera work is less frenetic. It's now moving slowly, more deliberately, almost like a Quentin Tarantino movie. And Kurt Russell, yes, Lacey.
Do you think that when he did the auditions for who was going to play this movie, he just asked for feet? Because I feel like he starts at the feet, goes up.
I think, I think that's the first
because
part.
Rosario Dawson's like already a big deal when this happens. And she's hot as shit. And that leg moves. I can't stop picturing her leg move with the pow at the end. Anyway. But the feet are good.
The first thing he says is like, but it's not weird. It's not weird. But like, feet, please. Mm-hmm. But not weird. Not in like a weird way.
Just need their headshot.
It's for cinema. Yeah. Kurt Russell pulls up to this convenience store parking lot and sees some sexy babes in a nearby cart. And they're having these normal conversations that sexy babes have of, I was making out with him and then I made him stop. And it's very similar to the conversation from earlier. But these women, they're not exactly the same. For one thing, they listen to iPods and not LP records. We got Rosario Dawson.
They also all have a job.
Okay.
And are all... Well, that's their thing. They're a little bit older, probably. And I don't know. I think he's showing a set of girls that are just a little more capable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Lee. Tracie Thoms is Kim. They all work together on a movie that is shooting here. And Kurt Russell goes and kind of tickles Rosario Dawson's feet and she doesn't react. So he, as Lacey said, gives it puts the lick on it.
Puts the lick on it.
And then she's like, ah! And then he...
My goddamn keys!
Where the hell are my keys? Here they are!
Oh, there we go.
Rosario Dawson gets out of the car, watches stuntman Mike peel away, but then notices him down the street, and that's when it shifts to color. Understanding now. She is a little...
more aware.
Yes. So now it's in color, and at this point, it is just a straight Quentin Tarantino movie, filmed like a Quentin Tarantino movie, paced like a Quentin Tarantino movie. They pick up their friend Zoe from the airport, who is playing herself, Zoe Bell, a real stunt woman, Uma Thurman's stunt double for Kill Bill. She's the stunt coordinator for Tarantino's movies. She started off working on Zelda as Lucy Lawless's stunt double. She's a fellow Kiwi like Lucy Lawless. And we see Kurt Russell taking pictures of them coming out of the airport. So they explain, they're like, we're working for director Cecil. He is just the coolest. And then I was like, oh, that's why Lacey said that. This Cecil is Quentin Tarantino.
And he forgives himself for cheating because he did the mixtape. Like he's propping up that there could be a guy that's it's okay to forgive for guy bad behavior, especially if you're not putting out. As long as he's also really thoughtful and interesting.
Yes.
As a mansion.
So what's more like wish fulfillment for QT? Is it this? Is it women saying how amazing and sexy it is for a man to make you a mixtape?
Yes. Around a table at a diner? Fuck yes.
Or is it Kill Bill when Uma Thurman's laying on the ground and just staring lovingly up at David Carradine as he blows his stupid little flute and tells the most boring story ever?
Damn it. I don't know which.
And then I went to meet the master and then...
Fart shit piss.
You're like, this is all Tarantino has ever wanted, is a woman to lay on the ground and listen to his boring stories.
Oh, I don't know which one.
They have their conversation here that's a lot like the Pulp Fiction conversation, and then they have the Reservoir Dogs conversation at the diner in like this crazy elaborate one shot, like no cuts. It goes on for I don't know how long. So just imagine how much they had to fucking eat and rehearse and probably fuck up and have to start all over from the very beginning. What do we think of this scene? Do we like this scene?
It flows. It's more realistic than the others. And I think maybe it's the one shot that makes it feel so real. It feels like the shot of fucking Roseanne, the opening of that show where they're all sitting around. It's a one shot of them having dinner. I'm like, ah.
This harkens back to Roseanne, to the opening of Roseanne.
You know? Chris, are you with me?
I like this scene because they start talking about cars.
Oh, God.
So Zoe, who loves cars, she explains she's in town and she found out in the paper, as of yesterday in this town, there's a 1970 Dodge Challenger with a white paint job for sale. And she looks over at, let's see, Kim, Tracie Thoms, and they're like, oh, Kowalski from Vanishing Point, because they're the gearheads, these two. They fucking love cars. And the other two, these women, they like Gossip Girl and American Idol and girly stuff. Am I right? But they explain like Vanishing Point kicks ass. It's this great car chase movie. And I want to go pretend like I'm going to buy the car, but instead I just want to test drive it and go with me, please. So that's what they're going to do. And they go talk to the guy who's selling the car, played by Jonathan Lofgrum, who is Adam Sandler's assistant. You might remember him from every Adam Sandler movie.
Yes.
Zoe Bell tells Kim she wants to do the ship's mast, and Kim freaks out because she promised never to do it again. And I love that Zoe says like, I meant it, but not in America.
I will point out that the only woman that's not there to like get herself out of a pickle is the one dressed as a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And the one that has probably the job that is like the least down to earth. She's the actress.
She's the actress, yes. But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
She's in a fucking magazine. Like she's not meant to be taken seriously.
So she's not like an Uma Thurman actress. She's like she's like a bitch.
And I would guess it's because Uma does a lot of her own fighting, right? Like Uma's down to train.
Yeah, Uma gets in there.
This seems to be an actress that's like wears her fucking costume off the set. You're off for 3 days. Why are you wearing that wardrobe? You're causing them a fucking headache. Asshole.
And they leave her. They leave her with the creepy car guy so that they can go do their joyride. They go out, and I love how, and Rosario Dawson wants to come, and I love how mean they suddenly are to her because they're like, you don't understand what we're trying to do. But then I love Rosario Dawson getting into it now. She's a little skeptical, but then she like is like, oh, I get it. This kicks ass.
Okay, wait. I like that she stands up for herself because this kind of dynamic happens a lot in friend groups. And it's like, look, you guys think that you have so much in common, but maybe that's because when you go do the stuff that you are later going to say, I don't like, it's because you went and did it without me. So maybe quit deciding what kind of woman I am and let me decide if I don't like something by experiencing it. It's like as soon as you have a kid, you get put in this like, oh, you don't do stuff group. And because you do makeup, well, you must be a girly girl. No, how about maybe I'm an artist? I do makeup, but I also do special effects makeup. That doesn't make me... Don't put me in a box, Kim. That's what I'm saying. Sorry.
No, they need to... Yeah.
They need to hear it. They need to know how I feel.
So what they're going to do, what Masthead is she rides on the hood of the car real fast.
Yeah, it's a little less...
Well, it's just one of those things that's like, because they're doing it for real.
Yeah.
But I've seen movies and I've seen fucking Vin Diesel fly his car into space that a woman just being on the hood of a car going really fast. I know it's real and it is thrilling, but maybe there's a part of you that's like, that's all there is.
Well, it is, but like I didn't realize I knew this woman must be like a real person because while she doesn't totally fit even though she's beautiful, she's not what they are. That adds a lot to it. And I think that's really cool. This is something Quentin Tarantino does really well. Celebrates the uncelebrated. For her to get to do this shot and get the credit as her and not the just the sexy body of someone else who's going to get all the face credit.
That's a good point.
It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, because she had never acted before. And he's like, well, yeah, so but you're not playing a character. We're literally, and in the credits, it's Zoe Bell as herself.
Yeah.
To make it, let you know, this is important that it's her.
Yeah.
And if it makes it cooler, these scenes were filmed at 90 miles an hour. She was on the hood of that car at 90 miles an hour.
Absolutely. And my whole thing with this movie is like, I have been perfect. I've enjoyed this movie so far. Basically for the last like 25 minutes, I'm like, this is pure like ecstatic joy. This is what movies are about. This is why they're special. There's nothing like, this is beautiful. It is so thrilling. It is again, I love Rosario Dawson, like when suddenly she understands why this is so cool and they're so happy. And then you see Kurt Russell eyeing them with binoculars and decides he's going to go start ramming them.
Well, and this isn't even when he was probably going to do his thing, right? He does his shit at night.
Yeah.
But he sees them in a provocative outfit, and I just mean that as a metaphor. She put herself on top of a car. She put herself in a precarious situation. I cannot not exploit this. You know, like when a female is doing something that a man thinks is, oh, they want it, then they go try to get it. And I love that it's turned on its head. He doesn't see it for what it is, which is this is a badass who is also a stunt person. You maybe shouldn't go fuck with your equal, who you perceive as that. Like, this is actually the stupidest thing you could be doing, because you seem to want to go for people who are really intoxicated, very dainty, not expecting it, and complete out of control. They're in a box in your fucking death machine. To switch to this is a little off. It's not his thing. So he got so aroused by someone so like him.
Here's a bad analogy.
Bit off more than he could chew.
Here's a bad analogy. I remember somebody pointing out when Alec Baldwin was acquitted of the charges of involuntary manslaughter or whatever it was for the thing on Rust. Somebody pointed out, like, the prosecutor in that case, this goes to show you prosecutors don't understand how to go up against people with actual defenses. Like, they're used to fighting poor people. They're used to prosecuting poor people who can't afford lawyers who can put up like a proper expensive defense.
With experts and
totally don't actually have the skills to do it.
Right.
And Kurt Russell's like, yeah, I go after drunk women late at night. But here I'm going against these extremely capable and aware and motivated women.
But like he probably
gets owned.
Gets the same charge out of it. Like, okay, this is going to be hard, but it's going to be career defining. Like, it'll have been worth the challenge. And he's having a great fucking time. But he's also someone that you can tell, although he's a stuntman and he gets hurt all the time, he doesn't seem to be someone who gets wounded by someone else. Because he is crying like a little bitch very fast. And probably because it's his driving arm. And he still has a lot of driving to do. Probably that. But you can tell someone who isn't used to the flip. And
they're like putting up a good fight in innovating him. And eventually they make him spill over and he gets out and he like he's almost like he's going to congratulate them like their compatriots, and like he's actually now going to leave. And he's like, ladies, that was fun. Now, adios. And then they shoot him. Which fucking rules? Oh, we forgot to mention.
Yes.
The thing about Kim is always packing a gun, and then Rosario Dawson is like a good liberal who points out guns, you're more likely to shoot yourself than shoot like some maniac. But here, no, guns are good. They're good in movies.
They're good in the Wild West, and they are in the West right now.
Yes. And he, like you said, becomes a little bitch and gets terrified and jumps into his car and drives away like a little piss boy.
Well, and so there's a lot of wish fulfillment here too, right? Like, oh, this would be the end of the slasher. Even if you did shoot him, it's still the end for fucking
Michael Myers?
No, love.
Jason Voorhees.
Allow me.
Sydney
and Scream. Jesus Christ. Sydney and Scream, right? She shoots, but then it's still over because the cops come. But that's not what this is, because often the law doesn't come. Like the first half of the movie. The law did fucking nothing. This guy was going to get away with it. We need to kill him. He must be stopped. We can't prove what he's doing because it's too fucking crazy. Plus, I was on the hood of a car. I was in a provocative outfit. I was asking for it. We're no angels. We have to fucking kill him because he will keep getting away with it.
I think it's more elemental than that. I think it is literally just like, fuck that guy. And they want to just go get him.
Okay, fine. I built a beautiful theory, but I guess we could just do
those thoughts will come later. Drives away like a little piss boy.
You just want to say piss boy.
Yes, I do. The three women, Zoe gets up. She's like, I'm okay. Because she, got thrown like 150 feet.
She's a cat.
Yes. And she is so happy. And she's like, that was a close one. Where's the maniac? And Kim's like, I shot him and his punk ass sped off. You want to go get him? And she's like, oh, hell yeah.
Does it not make you wonder what the fuck happened in New Zealand? That where she cried and said, never let me do the masthead again. She jumped up from this laughing. This was a laughing event? What the fuck happened before? All right.
I would need the Young Zoe Chronicles. We'll just call it Bell.
We'll call it G'day.
G'day.
Wait, shit. Do they say that in New Zealand?
Sure. Of course they do.
Fucking know.
Of course. Chris.
Why would he know?
They say G'day in old New Zealand, in Auckland.
I'm gonna go with yes. I think their slang is pretty similar between the two.
Chris,
the only difference is one's a Kiwi and one's an Aussie.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
They tell Rosario Dawson, like, hey, you might want to get out of the car. And she's like, fuck that. Let's kill this bastard. And it fucking, oh my God. It's so, it's so fun. And like I said, this is Quentin Tarantino female characters gaining self-awareness and turning against their creator. But it's also, I mean, it is like turning the tables on the slasher.
He gives women power in a lot of his movies, or in all of his movies. This is, I think you're onto something, but I think it's him giving the exploited the power.
So it's like, yeah, somebody like The Bride has like agency. This is somebody like
so
Bridget
does Honey
Fonda's.
Bunny.
Like Bridget Fonda's character who gets, just killed by Robert De Niro in a parking lot because she keeps mouthing off to him. This is like if she suddenly became aware, like, hey, a guy wrote you and directed you so that he could ogle your feet.
Right.
She'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound good.
You're going to be exploited in this movie. But don't worry, I'm in defeat.
But it's, turning the tables on the slasher. And what do we always say about slashers, Lacey? What is
that? It's a euphemism for fucking.
Yes.
Penetration. Matt loves to talk about
Well, because, I mean, that's like slasher 101. The knife represents the penis.
Matt, I know. And God damn it. Just hit play. Just hit play on the fucking recording of you saying that before.
Zoe Bell picks up a giant pole.
Yes.
And then they get in the car. They're going to go literally ram the other car. And what does Kim, as she drives the car, say? She's talking about
motherfucker. Yeah, take
about
that.
Kurt Russell's car. She says, "You're gonna." She like suggests his car is an ass. You're gonna wiggle it at me? Oh, you don't like it up the ass, do you? I'm gonna bust a nut up in this bitch right now. I'm the horniest motherfucker on the road. You know I can't let you go without tapping that ass one more time. They are going to fuck him literally to death.
Yes, Matt.
It's all about
It wasn't
sex.
lost on me.
Okay, good. This was all filmed in California, just like Vanishing Point. It looks like Vanishing Point. I like that he thinks he's lost them, but they get right back up to him and he just like, I was just kidding. I didn't mean it. I love I didn't mean it. They finally make him flip. They drag him out of the car and he is wailing like a dying pig. And they just beat him to death.
I love it. I love that that's the way he dies, just by their hands, and that they're capable. It hurts, but they keep going. And I'll say this is maybe the only time I've ever enjoyed a freeze frame. It's such a good one.
Yeah. And
that it unfreezes in time for the fucking drop kick of your life.
I love that we don't need anything else. We don't need to go. But what about Mary Elizabeth Winstead back at the guy? Who cares? Yeah.
She was a cheerleader. She had it coming.
Is there going to be a police investigation? Don't worry about that. It's just over. It's just over. But it's like, sometimes in a Friday the 13th or Halloween sequel, there will be a Jason Hunter or a Michael Hunter who will show up. And it's like, the reason that these slasher hunters never succeed is because like they want to do it to stop the killer and protect the innocent. But it's like the only way to stop a killer is you got to also not care. You got to also reject the rules of society. And it's like for him, he never expected someone would just come right around and do exactly what he was doing back to him.
Right.
And that's why it is so easy for them to catch him.
Okay, so he sees the ultimate prey instead of seeing the ultimate adversary. He's fucking stupid. He's short-sighted and patriarchal. I love men.
Men rule.
I feel I don't mean to be that voice
Folks,
constantly.
we love men.
I'm sorry. I just feel like that. Don't mean to be like eating the low-hanging fruit here. I'm trying to say things that are thoughtful.
Okay.
And not obvious.
Well,
damn it.
That's the movie. That's Death Proof.
We got to the end.